Close your eyes. Now stop. Before you open them, think, what would you look at if you knew that you could only see for the next 3 days? Welcome back to the Morning Mindfulness series. I'm Gila Ross, host of the Power Up podcast, where we share short, relatable ideas that impact and upgrade our everyday lives. Ingrid Ricks was a 37-year-old mother of 2 little girls. She went for a routine eye doctor appointment and had already picked out a new pair of glasses when the doctor called her into his office and told her that she unfortunately had a degenerative eye disease. She asked him what could be done, and he said, unfortunately, there was nothing that could be done to save her sight, and unfortunately she would soon lose her sight. She turned to the doctor and she says, will I be able to see my girls grow up? Will I be able to even drive? The doctor looked at her and said, you're an intelligent woman. You know the answer to it. She was devastated. I'm going to read you her heartfelt words. She says, I spent the next week huddled in my basement sobbing. I mourned the vision I had lost, but mostly I cried because I was terrified about what awaited me. I cried out of fear. I wouldn't see my 2 daughters, barely 5 and 2, grow up. I cried about lost future candlelight dinners with my husband and about the burden I feared I would become to him. I cried because I couldn't drive anymore and because I was scared I wouldn't be able to work. I cried over lost sunsets and ocean views and any other beautiful scenery I would miss out on. I cried until finally it occurred to me that I could still see and that maybe instead of mourning the unknown future, I should concentrate on now. And she tells us that as she lost her vision, she started to see other things. She started to see how to appreciate the moments with her daughters, with her husband, the things that she could see before she lost her vision. Helen Keller once said that if only every adult would experience 3 days being blind and being deaf. And perhaps this is why in the morning blessings, when we thank God for our vision, we don't say, thank you, God, for giving me the ability to see. In fact, we say, thank you, God, who gives sight to the blind. Because when we wake up in the morning and we open our eyes, we should feel as though without God we would be blind, it is true. And now we can see. Imagine how much more we appreciate our vision and the things we can see if we couldn't see beforehand. If, God forbid, we knew we only had a short amount of time to see, what would we see? How much would you appreciate those things that we can see? But on a deeper level, there's something also that we say in this morning blessings. Hagar, when she left Abraham and Sarah's house with her son Ishmael, and she went to the desert and her poor son was burning with fever. He was ill and there was no water anywhere. And she prayed to God to give her water so that she could save her son's life. And the Torah tells us an interesting word. It says, and God opened her eyes and she saw that there was water. Why? Because God gave her the ability to see what she hadn't seen beforehand. And we use these words the whole time. How often do we say, now I see, when what we really mean is now I understand. Because not only does God give us the vision to enjoy a beautiful sunset, the faces of our loved ones, take pleasure from the food in front of us, the beauty around us, but also God gives us the ability to see things. And we know We're told, the Talmud tells us, that there's no greater joy than the joy of clarity. Think about a time when you were grappling with a decision. You didn't know which way to choose. And then you got clarity. You feel free. God also gives us the ability to have clarity, to understand what we are supposed to be doing with our lives. So in the morning, when we say this blessing, thanking God for giving us the vision, we can take a moment to appreciate what our eyes can see. And we can appreciate the clarity. And if we don't have clarity yet, it's a perfect opportunity to ask God to give us the resources and to give us the clarity to see what we need to do in our life and to make the right decisions. What thought will you take with you from this short episode? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can get in touch with me. You can find me on Instagram at @GilaRoss. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to the episode. Have a wonderful day.